The basic statistics question for Quideo 5 says, the drug AZT was the first drug that seemed effective in delaying the onset of AIDS. Evidence for AZT's effectiveness came from a large randomized comparative experiment. The subjects were 1,300 volunteers who were infected with HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, but did not yet have AIDS. The study assigned 435 of the subjects at random to take 500 milligrams of AZT each day, and another 435 to take a placebo. The others were assigned to a third treatment, a higher dose of AZT. We will compare only two groups. At the end of the study, 38 placebo subjects and 17 of the AZT subjects had developed AIDS. We want to test the claim that taking AZT lowers the proportion of infected people who would develop AIDS in a given period of time. Part A says, state the hypotheses and check that you can safely use the Z procedure. Well, our hypotheses are going to be proportions, because we're looking at proportions. We have proportion of P, which is the proportion of subjects treated with the placebo that get HIV, that have HIV and develop AIDS. So we need more room. So another one is the proportion of AZT, which is the proportion of subjects treated with the AZT drug that have HIV and develop AIDS. Now, from what we're testing, we can determine that our null hypothesis, the HO, is going to be that the proportion of the ones treated with the placebo will equal the proportion of the ones treated with the drug. Our alternative will be that the proportion of the ones treated with the placebo is greater than the proportion of the ones treated with the drug. Because we're trying to see if AZT lowers the proportion of infected people. Those are our hypotheses. Second part of Part A says, check that you can safely use the Z procedure. Well, this is going to be our assumptions. Well, we go ahead and assume that's an SRS, a simple random sample. In the problem, it says that the subjects were at random, 435 of the subjects at random to take 500 milligrams of AZT each day. So we know that was randomly chosen. So we assume it's a simple random sample. Then we need to test our N times our P and make sure it's greater than 10. And our N times our Q, which is 1 minus P, and make sure it's greater than or equal to 10. We also need to test that our other N times P is greater than or equal to 10, and our other N times Q is greater than or equal to 10. So for this one, we have 435 times the proportion of 38 of 0.087, which we've calculated. And 38 out of 435 is where we got that from. 38 is greater than or equal to 10. In Q, we have 435, and then 1 minus 0.807 will give us 0.913. And we have 397 is greater than or equal to 10. Our other NP is 435 times 17 over 435, which is 0.039. This equals 17 is greater than or equal to 10. Yep. Check, check, check. One more to check. 435 times 1 minus 0.039 is 0.96 rounded. We get 418 is greater than or equal to 10. So yes, all of our assumptions are good. We can safely use the Z procedure. Now it wants us to determine how significant is the evidence that AZT is effective. Well, we know our test is going to be a 2 proportion z-test. And this formula is z equals proportion of our p minus proportion of AZT over the square root of proportion of p QP over NP plus P of AZT times Q of AZT over N of AZT. We go ahead and fill in our numbers. We have 0.087 previously calculated. Let's draw a little line here. Minus 0.039 over the square root of 0.087 times 0.913 over 435 plus, make this a little bigger, 0.039 times 0.96 over 435. And we get, and that equals z, we get z equals 2.928. You can go ahead and plug all of that into your calculator. We go ahead and erase this. We need some more room. If we have z equals 2.928, then we can get p obtained from our calculator by plugging all of that information into a 2 proportion z-test. And we get p equals 0.002. We also get degrees of freedom equals 484. 1 minus our n. From this, we determine that our p-value of 0.002 is lower than our alpha of 0.01. We reject the hope that the proportion of people that get AIDS from the placebo equals proportion of people that get AIDS from AZT drug. There is significant evidence that the AZT drug is effective. Part C of the question asks that the experiment was double-blind, and explain what this means. Well, double-blind means that the patients receiving either the placebo or the drug don't know whether they're receiving the placebo or the drug. And that the people administering the placebos and the drug don't know if they're administering a placebo or the drugs. They both don't know. It's double-blind.